599 service to Bowness Pier, Windermere, Ambleside and Grasmere.
We would like to remind passengers on the upper deck to please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion. And to keep hands, arms, legs and heads within the sides and rear walls of the vehicle at all times. Thank you.
Stagecoach 599 service to Windermere, Ambleside and Grasmere. We are about to pass St Martin's Church. The original section of the present church was built around 1483 on the foundations of a previous church, and the building was restored and enlarged in 1870. It's one of the more interesting buildings in Bowness, boasting a magnificent east window and wall murals. The area behind the church is the oldest part of Bowness, a web of narrow streets known as Lakesider. The rectory is the oldest building, dating from around 1415. With the arrival of the railway at Windermere, the town expanded uphill, the two towns finally meeting in 1905. Bowness is Cumbria's most popular tourist destination, with the town busy for much of the year. The uphill part of the town is the main shopping area and is also home to Beatrix Potter World.
We would like to remind passengers on the upper deck to please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion, and to keep hands, arms, legs and heads within the sides and rear walls of the vehicle at all times. Thank you.
Bowness-On-Windermere Railway in 1847 carried in a large expansion of the village. When the railway company named the station Windermere, the town followed suit and changed its name. Whilst not overly popular with the locals, even the poet William Wordsworth was against it, writing several letters to London newspapers. The arrival of the railway was a great success. In the first year, almost 120,000 visitors came by train, with the option of being transported to the lake by horse and carriage. Since then, the town has grown and grown on the back of the tourist industry.
Sabia ist so, ja, kein Problem, wir können gerne eine Party feiern. Dann Harry so, do you want to invite a few people because he has no friends? This week show that the friends that there tomorrow. So, weißt du, dass du da komplett kaputt sitzt?
The next stop is Windermere Station. Please ring the bell if you wish to alight here.
Please change here for the number 6 service to Ulverston and Barrow, the number 505 service to Hawkshead and Coniston, the seasonal 508 service to Glenridge, Footwater and Penrith, which operate daily between Easter and the end of October, and the 555 service to Kendal and Lancaster. As we turn into the station, we will pass the Tourist Information Centre. The railway station used to be larger, with 4 covered platforms. 3 platforms were taken out of use when the branch was reduced to a one-train-operated single line in 1973. A single track was put last to the truncated station in 1986 to allow the modernisation of the station and the building of a new supermarket, which incorporated the structure and the canopy of the original station. If you are leaving the bus here, we would like to remind you to check you have all of your personal belongings. We thank you for using Stagecoach today, and we hope to see you again soon.
Du läufst 11 Minuten zum 1 Bus, fährst dann um 37 bis 52 und läufst dann nochmal den Rest. Okay, nächstes Mal gucken wir, dass wir eine gute Anwendung haben. Und nicht 30 bis 52. Oh mein Gott.
Ich glaube, wir haben die Unterkunft, weil die am günstigsten war.
Die war, naja, die war absolut am günstigsten. Die hat, glaube ich, 100er weniger gekostet als die anderen. Ja, die machen ja alles nach. Ich glaube, oh mein Gott, ich glaube. Gewöhn dich dran. Banane, und dann die Kugelsport, ich bin wieder in Irland damals. PowerPoint-Präsentation? Aber hat sie, was wolltest du fragen?
Ich glaube, ich habe ja auch eine
Ja. Ja, es hat auch so Gründe.
Also sie hat auch gemeint, weil als es darum ging, welches Modul wir wählen wollen, sie ja gemeint, dass sie beides hat. Und dann hat sie mir erzählt, dass sie da in Richtung Fashion gehen möchte auch. Und das wird halt von vielen verlangt.
Hello passengers who have just joined us. We would like to welcome you aboard the Stagecoach high-time service to Ambleside and Grasmere.
We would like to remind you that please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion. Hands, arms, legs and heads within the sides and rear walls of the vehicle at all times. Thank you.
Natürlich. Ja, echt okay. Ja, ich jetzt gar nicht gedacht, dass sie da so Finance gemacht hat. Gott sei Dank,
Man lernt ja nicht wirklich gefahren. Das ist ja mehr so, aber ich glaube, das Internet ist
ja. Was sind das in Zahlen dabei?
The next stop is Cumbria. Please ring the bell.
Mach's halt auch so wie ich. Das
As we approach the roundabout, the road up the hill leads to Kirkton Pass, Glenridding and Oldwater. Kirkton Pass, at an altitude of almost 1,500 feet, is the latest highest pass open to motor vehicles. At its summit is the Kirkton Pass Pier, formerly an important poaching inn, which is now primarily a tourist pub. It is the third highest public house in England, and has recently installed the Wright Eclipse first live wind turbine for the purpose of supplying solar power in place of its now obsolete diesel generator that use more than 30,000 pounds of diesel each year. Glenridding is a small village that sits at the southern end of Oldwater, in the shadow of Kendal, which is the third highest popular water and storage which has the latest in the north end of the village. Oldwater is the second largest lake in the
war
lake
der beste
behind
Trip
Lake
meines
Windermere.
Lebens, wenn ihr gefunden habt. Ich war noch nie geschaut.
Much of its length, Oldwater forms the boundary between Cumbria and Westmoreland. It is widely considered to be one of the most beautiful lakes, and has been compared to local
Irgendwas ist
surface.
ganz so beautiful, irgendwas.
Stagecoach is 6.50 of its third Kirkton Pass, Glenridding, travels 11 minutes to Kendal.
The next stop is Braithwaite. Please ring the bell if you wish to alight here.
So mein Handy. Can you tell? Warte, dann kannst du noch was speichern.
Ja.
Ja, das sind.
The next stop is Wright Eclipse. Please ring the bell if you wish to alight here.
Whitecross Bay is now a holiday town. During World War II, the site was a factory owned by the Short brothers, with which Sutler and flying boats were made. The original factory was in Rochester in Kent, and that became the target of the Luftwaffe, which moved north to the shores of the sea. Around 35 flying boats were built at Bowness Pier, with most out for protection, U-boat hunting roles for the Atlantic convoys. The location was deemed ideal as it was sheltered, isolated, and had easy access to the large open stretch of water required for planes to take off. The Short brothers also built a small village, Cumbria, to house the workers, and is now formed part of the village.
The next stop is Brockle. Please ring the bell if you wish
Beatrice Potter, who became a popular lesson club during World War II and lasted at the National Park Visitor Centre in 1965. There are 10 acres of formal gardens designed by Thomas Morton over 100 years ago, and 20 acres of informal gardens and meadows. The centre itself, cafe, wood lakeside walk, an adventure playground, the formal and informal gardens, and a recreation area with a sunshine.
We would like to remind passengers on the upper deck to please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion, and to keep hands, arms, legs and heads within the sides and rear walls of the vehicle at all times. Thank you.
See how fun it is.
Roman fort established to protect vital trade routes to the major Roman port of Braithwaite. A wooden fort was constructed around AD 79 for a garrison of 200 men. This was soon abandoned, but the site was redeveloped in 1760 AD when a second fort, stone built this time, was constructed in the spring and housed a cohort of 500 infantrymen. The artificial platform's footprint on which it was built is just visible. Passengers wishing to catch the 505 service to Hawks Electronics and the 516 service to Alta Water and Dungeon Guild should change here. If you are leaving the bus here, we would like to remind you to check you have all your personal belongings. Thank you for using Stagecoach today, and we hope to see you again soon. Passengers who have just joined us, we would like to welcome you aboard this Stagecoach 599 service to Grasmere. We are now travelling through Ambleside. There has been a settlement here for over 2,000 years, dating back to the Romans at Galava. After the Roman Empire declined, the area came under the control of Furness Abbey near Barrow-in-Furness, which introduced small-scale, managed industrialisation with farming and iron ore smelting. Over time, slate quarrying became a major export industry, whilst farming expanded, and the dissolution of the monasteries led to the land being divided up into numerous small holdings by 1550. The Industrial Revolution brought new technology to the area. The road system was transformed from muddy, rutted cart tracks to reliable roads, and water, bark and bobbin mills were built alongside watercourses. Stockdale still has the remnants of water wheel housings near its banks. By the late 19th century, the town had expanded as the tourist industry caught up and overtook the mills as a source of income, as transport connections had vastly improved with the arrival of the railway in Windermere, and the big northern industrial towns sourced their materials from closer to home. Bridge House, possibly the most photographed building in the Lake District. Originally built as an apple store for Ambleside Hall, remnants of which are now parts of buildings in the area around the Golden Rule Public House on Smidley Brow, it was built over Stock Beck to escape land tax. It is believed that at one time, this tiny two-roomed building housed a family with 6 children.
We would like to invite passengers on the upper deck to please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion, and to keep hands, arms, legs and heads within the sides and rear walls of the vehicle at all times. Thank you.
We are now entering Lyell. Most famous for Lyell Mount, the poet William Wordsworth's residence until his death in 1850. Sections of the house date back to 1574. It was enlarged in 1750 and has changed little since. It is now a Grade 1 listed building. Lyell Mount is not the obvious large building you can see from the trees. That is Lyell Hall, built in the 16th century. Its present look dates from the early 19th century. This is the so-called New Hall, built by the first Sir Michael the Fleming in the 16th century, enlarged in the 17th century, and altered and refaced in the 18th century, with the main front dating from the early 19th century. The original Lyell Hall was closer to the current road, but was in ruins by the end of the 16th century. The village of Lyell was built on the old trade route to between Ambleside and Heaton, originally a pack-horse trail, but developed into a turnpike road in the 18th century. There was also a medieval deer park dating to the 13th century on the other side of the river, and this shaped the development of the village, but no building or settlement was permitted in the park.
We would like to invite passengers on the upper deck to please remain seated whilst the vehicle is in motion, and to keep hands, arms, legs and heads.
Bridle water is one of the smallest bodies of water in the Lake District to be classed as a lake, at just 3/4 of a mile long and 1/4 of a mile wide. It is also shallow with a maximum depth of 50 feet. Behind the lake is Livery Terrace, a popular and easy walking area that also contains Bridle Cave, a large man-made cabin in the hillside, the remnants of a slate quarry. Grasmere is slightly longer than Bridle Water. The island in the centre is reputed to have been a favourite place of the poet William Wordsworth, who lived in nearby residences of Cottage and Allen. William Wordsworth moved in with his new wife Mary and his sister Dorothy. Thomas de Quincey, a journalist and writer, was also a permanent guest. In 1808, the family outgrew Dove Cottage and moved to Allen Bank in the village of Grasmere. Dove Cottage was acquired by the Wordsworth Trust in 1890, opening to the public in 1891. In recent years, a large, modern but old-looking building was added to house the collections of the Wordsworth Trust. This was the scene of a bloody battle in 1945 AD, control of the kingdom of Cumbria, between Dunmail, the last king of Cumbria, and the united forces of Ambleside, the Saxon king. Dunmail was defeated and slain in the battle, and local folk felt his body lying under a large pile of rocks and stones at the summit of the pass. We are now entering Grasmere, a large but picturesque village and home to St Oswald's Church, where William Wordsworth and his family are buried. The Wordsworth lived in Allen Bank on the outskirts and the old rectory. This second abode was a cold, damp house, and Wordsworth's two youngest children died here. Grasmere has a variety of small shops and cafes, including Baldry's tea rooms, and it is well worth spending some time here.